Elon Musk decided to tease us with a bit of a Cybertruck update this morning by saying that the Cybertruck apparently won't have handles of some kind, and unless he's talking about love handles, I'm pretty sure he was referring to door handles, which honestly is not outside of what Tesla has done before. For instance, the Model X is a mass-produced vehicle that Tesla is still working on today that never technically had door handles. While it does have a button that you push forward to automatically have the door present to you, it is technically not a handle because there's nothing you really grip onto and pull back like you do with the Model S and 3 and Y. What he sadly did not give us in this update is what the Cybertruck will be doing instead. I'm sure that there has to be a way to open the door somehow, but knowing Tesla and how they want to minimize how much steps there are to the manufacturing process and they want to simplify how many parts there are in general, leaving out the door handle could probably save some time in the mass production line, save some money. So for that reason, I'm all in favor of it. In fact, when I recently checked out the Ford Mach-E, I was kind of impressed and kind of loved the idea of just pushing a little button in the center column right above the door panel itself. When I first saw it unveiled, I thought it was a tad weird, but after actually using it in person, I decided that it actually made the door look a lot more minimal and clean, and the button felt pretty practical and pretty seamless. It felt like something that you could get used to incredibly quickly and not have to explain to everybody going up to the door, whereas you kind of have to with vehicles like the Model X or Model 3. Sometimes you have to kind of explain exactly how to pivot that handle just right to open it, or just have to push it. You don't grab onto it. But another vehicle that doesn't have door handles is the Tesla Roadster. At least on the prototype, they actually have a touchscreen panel that you swipe up on in order for the door to open itself up. And personally, while it does look really cool and it probably feels very futuristic to just kind of swipe your finger along some glass to open the door, I can only imagine how problematic that could end up being if it's raining and the side of the vehicle is wet. We already know how annoying it can be to use a touch interface when your hands are wet or the vehicle is wet. And also in colder climates, it's pretty common for a thin layer of ice to freeze over the top of the glass. So I imagine if you park your Roadster out in some cold location, which I imagine there's probably not a ton of people who would be driving their Roadster to work every day in a really cold climate, but still it would happen. And if you went out there and you couldn't reach the touch panel because it was frozen over, that could become problematic. So maybe Tesla would have to add some type of heaters to that touch panel, in which case is not having a door handle really saving much, or is it just a design aesthetic choice? Personally, I hope they don't go with the touch panel approach with the Cybertruck, simply because I do envision a lot of people using that thing for work and a lot of people probably getting in and out of the truck with gloves on, as this is a utility-based vehicle. So if they had to make sure that their gloves were touchscreen supportive, or they had to start building heaters into that touch panel to make sure that it works even in the cold, I feel like it would just add more manufacturing complexity that doesn't really need to be there. So I'm all in favor of the Mach-E approach of just having a little subtle little button that's pretty hard to notice when you're just standing looking at the vehicle, but as you get closer to it, you know exactly where to push and the door can present itself. I know it would be really cool if they brought the auto-presenting doors from the Model X to a vehicle like the Cybertruck. I'm actually a huge fan of auto-presenting doors, and I wish they would bring it to more Tesla vehicles, but something tells me about the price point the Cybertruck is catering towards, and the fact that Tesla has really only done auto-presenting doors on the Model X. They haven't done it on the S, despite that being a very high-priced vehicle, and they don't even have it really on the Roadster prototype. I don't know if they plan on having it on the Roadster or not, but it seems like something Tesla has expressed not much interest in, and it seems to add a lot of complexity to manufacturing. So that's why I'd be very surprised if they decided to give the Cybertruck doors that automatically open and close themselves. As amazing as that would be, and yes, I want that to come to all of Tesla's vehicles, I just don't really see it happening. And I guess it could be possible that they could take the Model X approach and still have little cutouts on the side. They just don't automatically present themselves. Instead, you just walk up to the truck, push in on that little panel, and the door opens up. But something about the fact that you would have to push in on those little buttons, but they wouldn't exactly be really close to the edge of the door frame, makes me feel like I would rather the button just be in the center column like it is on the Mach-E, because the intuitive interaction of just pushing a button and then your finger is right there and you can start pulling away on the door and get in, that seems a lot more seamless to me. And of course it would make the Cybertruck look a lot more clean to not have these little cutouts stick out whenever the car is parked. Some people really like the Model S door handles on the Cybertruck prototype, so I'm sorry to those of you who are hoping to get get a more traditional looking door handle, at least when parked, but knowing how hard it probably is to cut all of these different pieces of heavy duty stainless steel that's supposed to be really, really durable, and looking at how the door handle kind of shook a lot when Franz slammed the Cybertruck with his sledgehammer, I can totally get why Tesla wants to remove as many parts as possible and keep with their design philosophy of the best process is no process, the best part is no part. This supports that, so I'm in favor of it, and hopefully Elon can drop some more interesting Cybertruck updates soon, and we can actually see what the production-ready version is going to look like, with windshield wipers, side view mirrors, which are still legally required at this time, so if they want beta production to begin by the end of this year, they're gonna have to have versions of those ready soon. So let me know what you guys think of the Cybertruck not having door handles down in the comments below. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have an excellent rest of your day. Take care.